Hi everyone, it's Danielle with Northlawn Flower Farms. Today I'm here at Longwood Gardens in Kennett Square, Pennsylvania, and this is my all-time favorite public botanical garden to visit. It's about an hour away from our house, and it's just a source of such inspiration and joy to come here. After I lost my grandma about 13 years ago, my daughter and I went on a mission to visit all the botanical gardens that we could that were in driving distance of our house. And Longwood is just the one that's always stuck with me. I have a membership. I come back over and over and over again. So I just wanted to tour you around, show you how beautiful it is here, and hopefully give you some inspiration for your garden. Now this garden here is the sunken Italian garden, and it's always been one of my favorites. It's a smaller garden that they switch up every year. Last year there was a lot of lime-time coleus here. So let's take a look at what they're growing this year. I'm seeing some angelonia, some nicotiana. Vanilla ice sunflower. And a lot of verbena. So now I'd like to take you down what they call the main flower walk. This walk here is a 600-foot brick pathway, and what they call this design is loose color blocking. So you'll see at the very beginning of the garden they do a lot of blues, that transitions to pinks, then to reds and to oranges, yellows, and finally whites. So this garden is the oldest garden at Longwood Gardens. It was laid out originally in 1907 by the original owner, Pierre DuPont. And apparently at the time when he originally laid it out, it was more of a cottage garden feel with rose trellises, benches, bird baths, and even shiny gazing balls. But after his death in 1954, the design began to evolve, and now it's more of an established garden that has color all season long by including annuals, bulbs, biennials, and long blooming perennials. So I really just find this area so full of inspiration. And of course, we don't all have a 600-foot brick walkway to fill with flowering plants, but we can take the ideas that we see here and bring them back on a smaller scale into our home. Instead of maybe 15 cleome and salvia and lantana, we can put in 3 or 5, but just the variety of colors and plants and how they all go together, it just is so inspiring. So this area here is part of their trial gardens, where they said what they're trying to do is 4 seasons of beauty, meaning of course having something blooming spring, summer, fall, autumn. So let's take a look at their different designs. Every bed is a little bit different. So it looks like Annie's hyssop here in the front. Some hairy balls there in the background. Looks like a hornbeam. Some beautiful black-eyed Susan. Some sedum and some celosia. So this is kind of interesting because this does seem more like a late summer fall bed to me in total. And here's some gorgeous orange dahlias. So there's just tons of these test beds for showing different plant combinations. That orange dahlia really is stunning, isn't it? Now, one year they had this area all with dahlias, and I think I might have a picture that I can share with you. And that was because they had the National Dahlia Society come here for their annual show. And they haven't done that huge dahlia planting since. I really wish they would because it was really quite striking. But this is lovely also. So lots and lots of different kinds of salvias I'm seeing. Definitely a purple, orange, pink feel right now, with a lot of goldenrods also. Let's take a look at some different beds. Now here we are at what they call the perennial display garden, although I do see some annuals sprinkled in here, like these beautiful orange cosmos. I can never decide if I like Kiss Me Over the Garden Gate or not. It just reminds me too much of a weed, but I suppose it has its place. See a lot more giant hyssop, sedum, some different phloxes in here. I like the sprinkling of dill that they put in. It really has somewhat of a wild feel over here, but it really is nice. I like the definition that these sheared evergreens bring. Here's a really lovely shrub. This is black lace elderberry. I used to have 5 of these on our property, but they all got verticillium wilt, unfortunately. Being here really, it does feel like fall. It's funny how it changes so quickly from the heat of summer till you feel like all the fall colors are coming to life in the garden. The purples, kind of that dusty pink, and the yellows. That's what I feel early fall is, color-wise at least. Alright, now let's go over to the idea garden that uses mainly just annuals. So this area has quite a few cutout gardens, all using very similar plants, identical color scheme, and they're just placing the annuals in different formations so you could get some ideas. So I'll just go to one garden and show you what we're looking at. So you can see they have a taller ageratum, some salvia, some gaura tucked in there, a really pretty lemony colored coleus. Here's something that I love to grow in our garden, and it's the Mexican bush sage, and it's just starting to bud up. By probably the beginning of October, that'll really be a fabulous show there. And then they put in some of those darker grasses. See some eucalyptus tucked in there, but very much in the purple, blue, yellow with a bit of white in every single one of these beds. This looks like the big and blue salvia to me. Some elephant ears. And I have to show you these dahlias. Oh, they're just gorgeous. That's a wild petunia right there. But as I say, all these beds, pretty much all the same plants, just organized in different ways. So that's a nice way to trial plants and see how different combinations pair next to each other. Well, now I'm at the main conservatory, so let's go inside and look around. So here we are in the East Conservatory, and this part of the conservatory encompasses over a ½ acre of plants under glass. A lot of these plantings are permanent, and often they'll change out the front bed and the sides, but a lot of the tropicals stay put all year round. There's all different kinds of waterfalls, pools, and fountains to see. It's just a really beautiful place to wander, walk slowly, take in the beauty, take in the sound of the water, and just really relax and be thankful for nature. Now here we are in the orangery, and just filming this, or taping this voiceover rather, I have a big smile on my face because the orangery is always full of so much color. It's ever changing. It's just full of different plants. They swap them out all the time. And here is the exhibition hall where the DuPonts used to have dinners and dances. And now we'll head into a garden that is called the Garden Path, and it's my favorite garden here inside the conservatory. It has a wonderful cottage feel, and the gardeners use this particular garden to trial new plants. They want to see how the plants perform on a small scale under glass, and if they do well, they get moved into other areas of the conservatory. And now here we are at this stunning water lily garden. They have 5 pools full of water lilies, over 100 species from all over the world. Some bloom during the daytime, some bloom during the evening, but I've truly never seen anything like it. It really is a sight to behold. I feel like this must be heaven. Here we are at the vegetable garden. I believe they call this the ornamental kitchen garden, and I've really seen this garden look vastly different every year that I visited over the past decade. But whoever is in charge of this garden now, I feel, is doing just a phenomenal job. As someone who's managed a large vegetable garden before, it can be really quite the challenge dealing with pests, disease, environmental pressure, people walking in the garden, and whoever is in charge here is just really phenomenal. So I want to show you everything because I just know all the hard work that goes into something like this, and I just want to give them the full credit that's due. Some beautiful variegated nasturtiums here, and I love whoever is in charge here, the use of flowers, you know, bringing those good bugs into the garden to help you with the bad bugs that are often present in a vegetable garden. Some beautiful marigolds, celosia, zinnia. Oh, I see a spotted lanternfly, if you've never seen one before. That's him, and he is trouble. So you can just see, you know, carrot, chicory, celery, bok choy, kale. You know, really minimal damage to them. I'm not sure, you know, what their thought is on organic or not here, but, you know, as kind of a display vegetable garden, it's just looking absolutely fabulous. Looks like here that we're coming up on some bush beans, and look at his use or her use of lilies. Beautiful, a beautiful wall there that they've created with the lilies. These are peanuts, and then they have some greens. And once again, they've just done a fabulous job incorporating flowers into the vegetable garden. Let's see what else they have going on. I'm guessing maybe at some point earlier in the season they had things climbing here, but now it looks like they have mainly greens and cabbages. Let's see, we have a tomatillo, however you like to say that. Eggplant. Looks like they're dealing with some flea beetle on these, which I'm not surprised about. Beautiful lettuces. Oh, look at this okra. And this looks like an older planting of corn here. Well guys, I'm really sorry, but my GoPro battery died over there in the vegetable garden, so I'm gonna have to call it quits here for the tour. But really, I feel like I've only shown you about 1/1000th of what Longwood has to offer. There's so much more, so many more gardens to see that I didn't even touch on. It's really worth coming out here and checking it out. Let me know if you have a favorite botanical garden that you like to go to. I'd love to visit some ones that I've never visited before. Some of my other favorites are Nemours Garden and Mansion, which is also owned, or was previously owned by a DuPont, and also Chanticleer Gardens is absolutely stunning, but I always love learning about new gardens, and I'd love to hear what some of your favorites are. Well, I hope you enjoyed spending some time with me today. I sure enjoyed spending time with you, and until next time, happy gardening. Bye! Well, would you look at that view?